Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic. And today, like I promised, it happened. Barbara is with us today. Hello, Barbara. How are you today?
Hi, Lisa. I am doing great. I'm sorry Misty isn't here with us. So, hey to Misty.
Hey, Misty, we miss you.
Misty you.
We both said that. We miss you. We always miss Misty when she's not here, listeners and watchers. And I know you do too. But she had to go to a doctor appointment and ended up waiting forever, and she's not going to make it home in time. But if you haven't, oh gosh, I almost forgot, Barbara, and I have been doing this. I've been forgetting to ask people if they think we're all psychic, because this is the third time I've done it. Do you still think we're all psychic?
I know we're all psychic. I know we are.
You know we are. She knows it.
I'll prove it to you.
Prove it to you right now. What am I thinking? Just kidding. I have a picture of an object in my mind. Some people can do that, though. Misty is really good with that. She can pick up stuff like that. And I can't really. I see weird things, you know. Like
everybody has their own expression. Like I like it to think of it as intuitive arts.
It is. It really is. And healing is the same way. Energetic healing. I think that most people who do energy healing, even if they start with Reiki or so, like I'm a Reiki master, but I have my own way of doing Reiki, different than the way my teacher taught me, but mostly like she taught me. But I do have my own methods and my own ways of working with it. Like every single person will, it seems like being natural, you know, especially with the healing. It seems like it would be the energy healing, because I think everybody's understanding of what an energy system, I think we have an energy system, you know, would you agree? We have like
yes, absolutely.
We have the endocrine system. We have our,
we call it the operating system.
Yeah.
In our model.
It's like the software for our hardware.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like, I lost my train of thought. There we go. This is why I need Misty, listeners and watchers.
I know. It's why we Misty.
She always knows what I'm about to say, and then she rewinds it for me to where I can get it.
See? Well, we were talking about a couple things. One about manifestation, because you asked me how I was doing.
Yes.
And I was saying, I am doing so well. I'm so excited about what I've just learned about manifestation. And I've been studying this for decades now, so it never ends learning.
It never ends, and that's a great thing. It's a great thing. It's just there's more and more and more and more and more and more. It gets more crazy and interesting. So, what did you discover about manifesting? Do tell us your secret.
Well, I've been at this for a long time, and one of the things that I have not manifested in abundance has been money in my life.
Same with me.
And one of the reasons I always say the reason I'm like this is because when I started writing music when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go out on the road and sing rock and roll.
That's what I wanted to do, Earl. That's what I wanted to do.
And I put everything I had, and it was probably 15, 18 years on the road. I mean, I won awards. I had my day in the sun. Yeah. But it wasn't the direction that I was meant to go.
But it helped you somehow in your path, right?
Absolutely. But what it did was it instilled in me this lifestyle and these habits of doing my passion.
Yes.
And I didn't care. I didn't care if I made money.
Right.
It didn't matter if I made money. If I got to, I win that award, or I'm on stage and I got a band and I'm,
you're rocking.
Opening for
you're right
Tower
now.
of
You
Power.
are right now when you're playing music.
Who cares? And so then when you had to start caring about money, because there came a time where we had to start caring about money. I couldn't fit my energy into that lifestyle that the mainstream said you had to do to make money. And I wouldn't.
I know, sell out.
But there's no way. But here's my analogy: is that this last winter, I did some dog sitting, and the mother of the dog said to me, "Don't try to motivate her with food, because she's not food motivated. She was a stray from Romania, and she just is not food motivated. And I thought, what dog is not gonna?
Right.
She didn't.
Wow.
You could put that bacon right there on the floor, and she would just,
if you
turn
said to her, eat it, would she? Is she waiting for permission, or is she just not interested?
I think it wasn't so much about. It was about building a relationship with her. It wasn't about here's some food. Now do this for me.
Yeah.
She was like,
I want to see what else there was. What else am I going to get here?
Yeah. And so that's what, So that's what people said. Well, how did you then deal with her? I said, I built a relationship with her. And then she'd take food from my hand, but not as a way to make me do something.
How did you build a relationship? Did you talk out loud to her? Did you pet her a lot?
Quiet and sometimes like if you were in the forest and there was like a deer around and you had a little piece of apple or whatever, your best result would be if you held out your hand and looked the other way.
Yeah.
And just sat.
But
we're like, here, deer.
Yeah. We have our eyes like in front of our face. We're predators to them. They have their eyes on either side.
Yes.
And so they see us and they're like, they got the eyes. But if we're not looking at them, then they're not a threat. Yeah. That's great. I didn't think about that.
But that's how I relate me with money.
Yes. I understand. I don't find it important to me, but I know it is. You have to have it.
But you have to admit you're like me in a way where
I wish I did because I could have so much fun.
I know, but like I think we're both when you have to be motivated by when you have to go have food be the motivation because you can't feed your face on applause. You have to pay your rent and you have to have this. Then we can, but it's not our biggest.
We always find a way to that dime that we need, don't we?
Yes, we always do.
It's luck. It's something in the energy.
No, it's not. It's what we're talking about
how we expect.
Why don't we have more money?
Is that what we expect then?
But on the other hand, I remember one year, I think it was probably about 2015 and I was saying to Einstein, I was like looking up at the party going, why? It's not like I don't, feel my emotion and visualize and intend. And I wrote the check out for $1 million. I did all of this. Why? And Einstein said, because if you had money right now,
you wouldn't do this.
He said you wouldn't use your faculties to learn how to manifest without it.
Interesting. That's very interesting way to put it. Yes, and of course it would be from Einstein.
Yeah. And the example was because my washer broke. Mm-hmm. And I was so frustrated. It was like, oh my God, I don't have any money. And how come? And he said, and then like another day later, a guy I was working for in property management said, hey, this unit, I got a new washer dryer. Do you need anything? I can come and install it. It's just, I need to get rid of it. So I got it free and I got it installed. Yeah. And that was sort of his sort of
instead of manifesting the money, you got it. Yeah.
So that was the beginning of me really begrudgingly like, okay, all right, then if I don't have money, I'm not supposed to have money. Is that what you're saying?
And what did he say to that? Because to me, I think it's not necessarily, I would say I would still be doing the same thing if I had money, but I'd be doing it bigger. Like I would advertise the hell out of this podcast. I would throw ads out everywhere because I love this podcast and I want to make a living. I don't, we have a sponsor, but it just covers the programs and it helps a lot. They just help us, having a sponsor, and they're really supportive, and they let me bring the advisors on. Everclear does, our sponsor. And I think they loved that when the podcast was first starting and they said we could do that, really bring in some psychic readers from the platform. And they said that was the main benefit they found from the podcast in the first couple of years was that the advisors were all getting along and getting to know each other. And they love that we're friends. I've never been on a platform where they wanted us to be friends. And they do.
Nice.
They want us all to know each other and get along. So we can recommend each other. Yeah. I've been lucky. I've really gotten to meet a lot of the advisors because of this. Yeah. But, I would love to do this for a living.
I agree, though. When I get the money to do that expansion, then it will be really fun because then there'll be that. It's like, you don't have to sweat. Well, how am I going to get this? But there's something too, for me, I don't know about you might be different, but for me, I left all my other little side gigs last year to put everything into this work. And I've done it for, like, I left last fall about this time on my world tour, and like 23,000 miles later, I'm about to leave again for the second year.
Yeah.
And I decided that this work that I do, yes, I charge for my readings, and I have classes that I charge for, and I charge for speaking engagements, but I want this whole energy not to be burdened by
it seems, but we do, the exchange really makes a difference in a reading quality. I don't know what it is, an exchange of some sort.
Oh, no, I charge for readings.
Yeah, I do too.
But with all the rest of the content, because I do content constantly. I'm a YouTube channel. I mean, we have meditation series and channelings and all kinds of things on there that I want to be able to keep doing people. So I had to make this decision about, okay, maybe I need one side gig. And if I had one side gig that I could love, it's that I help people publish books and set up small publishing companies.
I used to do that too. Yes. When Kindle first started allowing indie published books, being published, that's when I got in. I got a little editing business and everything, had editors under me and everything.
Yeah.
And it crashed and burned because I had one of my editors betrayed me. She betrayed me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it got went nasty after that. But led me back into the ghostwriting, which is which I went into ghostwriting instead of writing. But the psychic work called me back in 2018 when my cat Morgana died. Now, you heard about Morgana. I'm feeling really compelled to ask Mr. Einstein, or Dr. Al, if he would like to come out. Because what we're talking about, I would like to talk to him about with you.
Okay. Do you want to
try that to manifest?
Do you want to channel?
Yeah. Would you like to? Because I love it when you channel.
I'm that's fine with me. I'd rather hear them talk than me talk, frankly.
Not me.
Okay.
I'd rather hear you talk because I can understand you.
Do you need to see me?
I can see you.
Do you need to see me?
We can turn off the screens if you're more comfortable with that.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to turn off the video.
Absolutely. Yes.
There we are. Okay. So let's just take a second. Everyone who's listening to this at whatever time you are and wherever you are, just to stop, take a few deep breaths, turn your focus inward, and we will command that only the most divine light shine down upon us at this time, and the greatest good be present here. We are so honored to be a part of this circle today. And we want to, before we begin, let you know that, as we told Barbara earlier today, that this is a time of great expansion for everyone, for you as human souls, for us as souls in afterlife at this point, for the planet Earth, for all of humanity, for the unity of the planet. And it's a very exciting time. And so today we are initiating some spirits and souls who have just come to us in afterlife and are making use of this beautiful process that we can help them participate in. And of course, Al is here, ready to advise. Ready to advise.
Hi, Al. How are you doing?
It is an excellent, excellent time to be speaking.
You or me?
Us.
Us. Great. I love it. I'm so glad you're here with Barbara and me today, because I think your words of wisdom have helped me immensely, and I believe they help our listeners and watchers and Barbara as well. We were just, if you were around and listening, which I know you can be, like, from what I understand, spirits can always be everywhere if they want. Yes. So I figured you heard what we were talking about. So yes. Can you, like, what what are we missing that we don't get money? We don't know how to save. What are we doing wrong with the money itself? Not the thoughts. I'm saying with the actual money. Are we overspending? Or is it that we need to focus on other ways to get, like Barbara was saying, you said? It seems like there's something else, like a little thing that you can tell us that is just out of reach from what we're thinking about.
Well, there's a multi-pronged perspective of what's going on. It's not a linear thing or a two-dimensional thing. It's a three-dimensional process. And one of the things that's involved in that is what Barbara was saying, is that you are here at a time in the evolution of humanity where you're being challenged to use your inner power, to understand your inner world, to master your inner world. And part of that is about understanding how you manifest everything anyway.
Yeah.
So you're a channel of your life, projecting the magnificence and perceiving it back here in the lens of the physical world. And you come here with different programming. You come here to experience balancing with other lives that you may not be aware that you're living. You come
That
here.
is so true, Al. I do believe that when we sleep, we are doing work a lot of the time. Some sort, spiritual work. Yes. I wake up tired.
Yes, and it has to do with taking in data.
Yeah.
Of multidimensional data. And it's no wonder your physical body then feels tired. It's, of course, your physical body is also always in the process of expanding its capacity to take in that data. But of course, you get to a place also where you can't take in any more data until you offload some of the other data.
And use it or utilize it, one or the other. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there's that. It helps you push yourself past what you really think you can do, rather than falling back on money as the source of the manifestation. It's
narrow. You're right. That is a narrow way to think about it. Just that one solution. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
And when you remove the concept of money from the intention to vision the manifestation, right? So say you need a green pencil or you need a red Ferrari. The process of visioning it into manifestation is the same.
Yeah.
It's just the emotional attachment that you have to those bigger things like, a green pencil, that would be easy. That's just a little thing. But,
that's our perception. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a red Ferrari or $100,000 or sometimes even just $1,000 is a lot to think that you can manifest.
Yeah. Yeah. And putting action into your creative process, trying to solve that problem.
Yes.
How to approach it differently and process the manifestation differently. I love it. That's really fascinating. I do have another question for you. I was wondering, this is more of a social comment, like asking about like our culture right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And do you believe we're going in a positive direction right now, or is there going to be some trouble coming up? That's kind of what I'm wondering about.
Well,
the next year or two, because with the astrology, we have, that's like one of our guideposts, I think. And it shows that Pluto is going into Aquarius for good. And that's going to be there for like 20 years. And it's already, things are getting weird. It's changing already because it's been in Aquarius and dipping in and out. And it implies that there will be these huge like changes and upheavals in or just unusual new advanced ways of doing like pretty much everything, unusual things happening. are they going to be good or bad or both? Overall, you feeling good about the future, Al?
Well, we like to look at this as the chrysalis.
Okay.
So that when you're going from being this caterpillar in one complete form, function, and now you're going to disintegrate that form, and you're going to recreate yourself into what's now going to become a butterfly. And if you take the butterfly and you put it next to a caterpillar, you see how wildly impossible it might seem.
Yeah, it does.
So whether it's good or bad, what we see is that you're right now, where you are right now, where you're describing with Pluto in Aquarius, is that the old systems that are built on fear and lack and greed and all of those things, they're coming down.
Yeah.
And the new systems are coming up. And you can see the new systems coming up here and there. You can see it in certain languages that are being,
Yes.
the truth is more being, people are being revealed the truth more. They're accepting the truth more.
Yeah.
They're
Alien.
shaking off. Yes, all of that. So that is like the upswing of the whatever that miracle that's going on in the chrysalis that's destroying the caterpillar and creating the butterfly.
Yeah.
And that's where you are. And so we would say it isn't that it's a horrible thing or a wonderful thing. It's that it's a very ripe opportunity for humanity to make this change, not blowing yourselves up, not destroying like all the other civilizations that got destroyed.
Like they have. Yeah.
But
well, what are you seeing for us most likely? Do you think we will go back to doing what we've always done and ending up, ruining ourselves again? Or do you think we have a chance here? Because global communication, I think we've had it before because of pyramids being built at the same time. There had to have been some kind of global communication, I would guess, because that's just too weird. And maybe it was aliens. I don't know. But it's this global mass communication instantaneously to me is something very different. I don't know if they've ever had that. I don't know if we've ever had that on Earth.
That is correct. It has not. And so this is a new species.
Yes,
that's emerging. And the quality of the life of the emerging manifested spirit, whether it's whatever, is dependent upon, in our estimation, your relationship to the divine, to the source, to the creator, to the truth. If that's so the only word one can hear, one isn't particularly spiritual or what have you, but
gotcha. Yeah,
humanity is embodying the truth more and more, and that creates the creative solutions.
Yes, it makes people think out of the box because we have access to senses that we never really thought about before, and like our psychic senses, our clairaudience, our clairvoyance, our claircognizance, clairsentience. And I think I do truly, honest to God, believe we're all psychic. And I really think everyone's working with all these senses all the time. And it's just so natural. We don't, we have our eyeballs, but everybody in the world would say, I can imagine blah, blah, blah in my mind's eye. If not anybody, maybe somebody would have trouble with imagining if that part of their brain was messed up or something. But let's say, Al, for example, maybe I say to you, let's say we're in person, you're alive, I'm alive, and what I'm trying to get at is like advice for how to expand that thinking. How do we think out of the box? How do we teach people to try it and see that there's going to be benefits from thinking outside the box?
People are coming to a place, humanity is coming to a place where every individual has to make a choice. They have to be willing And nothing that you can say or do can.
Everybody's individual thing, huh?
You cannot, you can express yourself, you can vision, you can pray for people for the highest good, but this is the meeting point of humanity and spirit.
It really is right now.
Yes. And everyone must make that decision. And so your job is, oddly enough, it's at a pivotal point in the planet where humanity has never been before. The answer becomes decidedly mundane, because it's about taking a day that you've been given and making the very most of it that you possibly can.
Yeah.
In a day.
Yeah.
There'll be tomorrow.
So many days I don't do that. Yeah.
So many don't.
So many. All of us are got to be guilty of it. At least us women, when we have our periods, we have an excuse. No,
humanity is not trained or inspired or programmed culturally to
enjoy ourselves.
Yes.
It's like especially in the South, if you enjoy yourself, you're probably doing something illegal in the South. Not illegal in other places, though. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to have fun where I have lived in Alabama, for example. They don't want anybody to do anything but go to church, honest to God, it seems like. And I don't know what I fear is the anger that people have towards each other without even knowing each other right now. And it's just because of people's belief systems and not agreeing. And people like nowadays, it's just because the news shows it to us, and the social media likes to, those posts get a lot of attention. So they're shown more, controversial kind of dialogue and stuff like that on social media. So I just wonder if people will, as we're evolving into this direction where we're trying to have some kind of global peace, no hunger. I really hope that's what everybody's goals are, on broad scheme of things. How can we, and especially our culture, I don't know much about Eastern culture, but in the Western culture, how can we, find that value in ourselves enough to enjoy our own company? Because so many people don't enjoy their own company. They can't be alone,
Yes.
And a lot of times being alone is when those psychic senses kick in really hardcore.
Yes.
I've noticed.
Yes. Well, again, each human comes here with this charge, the charge you've been given this life.
Well, why don't we know what it is? Are we supposed to? And something was lost, like forgotten knowledge or something?
Yes, you forgot that you've come here to learn to love yourself.
Oh.
And that everything, every incident that happens is designed for you and by you to help you learn that, to help bring you to that, to bring you the truth is that you are all one. The truth is that you are a family, that you're a community. And yet you've been given this power of free will in order to master it, in order to intentionally choose it, to do what's best for the good of all. And in that charge of doing it, it starts with self. It starts with learning how to love yourself, how to be with yourself, how to nurture and develop yourself and take charge of yourself, because we feel as if a lot of the malaise and the hopelessness certainly are predicated on the situations in the world today. And as you said, how crazy things are. And yet under duress, the best of humanity rises.
You're right. We do come together in really hardship times.
So be that person that if there's something to tell people to do, don't be the person who's divisive. Don't be the person who allows the political side to come between you. And that might be hard for you because you might have triggers by the other side, and they might be family, and it might be you get caught up in this and that. But if you make a commitment that no, I can't be that person who allows this to come between. What does that mean to be a peacemaker in that way? And your intuition will guide you, your voice of compassion within you, but you have to become so you can hear it and then you can act on it. So that's really the training that every human faces at some point in their life. Are you going to take charge of your life? Or are you going to allow yourself to be victimized and tossed hither and yon? And if you are, we can tell you it's not only the worth every second that you spend learning to love yourself, but the byproduct is then world peace, because we cannot have world peace without having peace starting with each individual.
Within, right. That's beautiful. I love that. Do you have faith that we'll do it?
Yes. And for us, you see,
find it.
our mission from Afterlife is holding the timeline. And if world peace is our goal, then it can't fail.
I understand. You know what the goal is in your position.
Yes.
Or is it a creator that doesn't tell you?
It is the intention behind, and you see how more and more people are intending to, they're threatened now by the lack of global peace.
Yes.
And they're starting to wake up to the need to have an intention to do their part to be that peace themselves. And that's when things start to really change. Because when you change yourself, you'll find that your world around you changes in ways that you could not do going directly at the problem in the arena in which it's being created.
I understand. Okay.
So if you have a conflict with your mother, say, and you can't manifest what you really need by going directly in it and trying to sit your mother down and tell her this and have her hear this and have her understand that. It's a much more solo operation of looking at that trigger of your mother or your sister or your whomever.
Yeah.
And bringing it in and feeling the feelings around it, as well as being open to discover, what is this trigger? Where is the mirror coming back to you? What is the message for you? What
I need help there with a lot of trauma and triggers and stuff like that. Is something I definitely am working through. And you're right. You have to make a conscious decision. I think people have to make the conscious decision to try to self-improve themselves if they want to or not. And it's not like, everything I do is I'm self-improving every moment of every day. I wish, right? But, I'll definitely, I don't want to say slide back into old habits, but I'll let myself because I'm in control. So if I want to lay in bed all day because I have an upset stomach, I will. I'm not going to feel guilty, which is what I used to do. I'm not working. I feel guilty. I'm always sick. Is this real? Always, and thinking negatively. But I did have to make that conscious decision when I was about 34 or 35 that I was not going to be stuck in the old mindset. And I was able to change a lot of it it took a time, but it took about 10 years to realize I could do it. And then once I realized I could really do it, then I could implement it. But it's to believe it was a possibility was something I couldn't conceive of. That could change my way of thinking.
Yes. And what you're going through right now is, it's a little tricky because in all of that time, you've learned so much. You've learned a lot empirically by just having to go through experiences and find those creative solutions and get through them and problem solve. But you've also learned a lot theoretically. So you've read a lot, you've studied a lot and listened a lot.
I love learning.
So where you are right now is that having the need to differentiate between what you know and what you implement, what you execute that you know, because it can be tricky for the human mind that understands how to fly a plane, but it's not the same as going out onto the tarmac and getting into the plane and taking your rocket up in the air.
It is. Yeah. I remember the first time I lit I soldered with a torch. making jewelry, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to burn the house down, and I never have yet. It has been, 10 years of soldering, or something like that. So,
and with things that are tactile like that are physical, but when you are dealing with things that are non-physical, it's not quite as clear. And not just you, but humanity doesn't know what to do. When they look inside means what? What are you looking for? What does it look like? How do you do that? When do you do it? What do you do? So there's so many of these questions arising naturally. And it is confusing, but it's a wave of transformation.
It is a wave of transformation. I feel like I have faith that humanity is going to pull through this in a beautiful way. I have faith that it will. What our culture in the West is going through. It's funny. I had a fever dream that China. This is when I was bitten by a black widow a couple years ago, and I had a fever dream when I was bitten by that black widow. I think it was that China bought all the countries in the world and made world peace.
Yes.
And it was so real. I was in a fever dream and I had like a fever of 103 or something. And I believed it for like 2 hours as reality. Like, oh, because with that venom, you get so confused, with Black Widow venom. I did anyway. And I really did think for like, a good hour or two that had happened. And I lived alone, so I didn't have anyone to ask. And I didn't watch TV much. I'm looking on the internet. Did this really happen? Or did I dream it? What happened? So like, I don't know what that was about. I just thought something compelled me to tell you that. But
what we would say is that what you're describing is the articulation of the fact that the United States is in a very specific place. The rest of the world is in its own place. Yeah. And of course, you're all together. But right now, the United States is going through its own specific reckoning, so to speak. And that what is difficult for those people in the United States to see is that the rest of the world that is being touted as the enemy by the military industrial complex, are working to make peace together. You don't see that, and you don't hear that. And so when you see the beauty of, if we're not predicting, we feel like the changes will be the new is rising up right under as the old is coming down. So there's a new supportive system. There are beings like yourselves who are being willing to be the change, to be the peacemakers, to hold the vision and not ask the question, do you think it's going to work? But say, this is going to work because we're going to implement it, because we can't have this vision of world peace at the end of the tunnel unless there's world peace at the end of the tunnel. So it is a done deal. And all of this is our way to help facilitate this great awakening that's going on. So it's even more important for each person to understand not only that you have to become the peacemaker intentionally, but that's a deep path. Yeah, it isn't just, I'm going to smile and be happy. It's now I have to deal with my own conflicts, and I have to get through all my muck. So I'm really smiling. Exactly.
Yeah. I love that, Al. That's beautiful. Well, I don't want to exhaust you. And one last question, I guess, would be, how's the weather up there today?
However you want.
Okay. I love that. I love that answer. That makes me very happy. I get a lot out of that answer too. Thank you so much, Al.
Thank you.
I would love to have Barbara back if she's allowed back. And I would love to have you back on the show, Al.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And as always, thank you so much for all your wisdom. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how fun is that?
Oh, gosh, it's too much fun. Oh, I just love it.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
I have a million questions. I just like, oh, I could go all night. I didn't have any in the beginning, listeners and watchers. And once we started, I was, I want to know everything, Albert Einstein. He's so charming. And he has this, your energy change. Yours kind of feels like what I'm looking at you. That would be your left side. My camera is all weird because I set it up a certain way so I wouldn't be looking at the wrong person, like this way.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And finally figured it out. But
his energy.
Yes, his energy. Your energy feels like it steps to your left. It kind of like you step to the left. The other way. Okay. Like yeah, it feels like your energy is that way. It feels like you're stepping over to the side and just kind of watching. And it feels like his energy it's more feminine than masculine. And that surprises me. There is definitely a lot of masculine energy there, but his energy is more passive, like a feminine energy. It doesn't feel insistent and in your face. It's very gentle, and yours is too. But in a different way. You're chasing a dream. You're uncovering mysteries. He solved them all, and you can feel that in the differences in your energy. I can,
Yeah.
When when he's stepping in, this is kind of cool,
What a great way to say it. And you're right. As you said that, I could see that that delineation between that inner. Because sometimes it just, as you can imagine, it gets pretty seamless for me after all of these years. And who knows when I'm talking, who's slipping in or not. But for the most part, that delineation, that's important to me.
Yeah.
To have my own domain, and that you could recognize there's this part of me that's like watching too.
Yeah, it feels like a core of you, like one of your chakras moves over here or something. It's like what it feels like your heart chakra steps out or something. Your solar plexus, maybe that would make more sense, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Maybe it just steps over to the side and it just kind of like hangs out, and something comes in of his, because I can feel his energy.
Well, but he did say too, and he said this to us earlier today when I did a session, was that this is this time where there's all these new souls who have come to the party.
I have heard that.
And
witches. Yeah.
That they were going to let some of them speak through me, so I see it more like they're sort of like Al's sort of holding them and going, now let's talk together.
Yeah.
So there was that feminine side, although he is very...
It's not feminine, it's passive. It's not in your face masculine energy.
Yes, yes. It's just kind of joyful, fun,
peaceful,
childlike.
Yeah, it is. There is just simplicity to his energy, and because he has a lot of the answers, I guess. But even in his pictures when he was alive, you can see that he knows something we don't. He knows a lot of things we don't, but obviously, it's like I think the secret of, like, whenever I read about Albert Einstein or studied him in school or anything like that, his secret was to always be curious, I think, and to always look for something every single day to do and be curious about and learn. And that's inspiring to me, He
and Freud, when in their real lives, after World War I, the League of Nations started this program to help sort of bring back intellectual camaraderie between the nations who had been fighting this war. And so they picked some public figures to write open letters back and forth to each other. And they asked Einstein, and he wrote to Freud. And the question was, how do you stop war?
Yeah.
And after a long debate of this and that, no, they didn't know. But here were the three things to do to stop war. Okay. Cultivate an open mind with critical thinking.
Yes.
Create heartfelt communities. And then know the truth, especially about war. Don't glamorize war. Don't sugarcoat it. Like, show the real horrible truth of war. And then maybe with those things, we can stop war.
Yeah, I hope so.
So this is where us doing our part to help people have critical thinking.
And this global communication is going to help us with this critical thinking, I think, seeing the war, seeing it, seeing places getting bombed and innocents tons and tons of them just being killed. So, I mean, and the people are like, so we don't want to worry about that as much as, an election, because that's like horrifying. That could happen to us. And then that's also some of the fear. It could happen anywhere,
Yeah.
It has happened here, but not quite like that. That's been going on in the, other part of the world.
Well, I'm glad that going back to the manifestation of money and Einstein's explanation to me of why I don't, that I feel more confident that I can use my energy to help people have critical thinking and people build communities than I can trying to go at stopping World War III.
You know what it feels like to me? It kind of feels like you're going to be self-made, but you're going to have like a patron someday. A patron. I don't know if that makes sense.
I feel that. And I feel like in the meanwhile, I more and more, I love the journey of manifestation.
Learning
a little teetery, you're walking along the cliff like, oh my God, am I gonna make it? And then you get to the other side, it's like, oh no, I just manifest something. No, I absolutely believe. And when I was little, all I ever wanted to be was a rock star. I had the hairbrush as the microphone in front of millions.
You had to get the round brush for that,
right? And
your mom's nightgown, so you're a sexy star,
singing Heat Wave and imagining it. So, I think I'm gonna keep visioning big, like that.
I'm gonna start picturing bigger too. And I think I never really know what I want. I know I want peace and I want healing from trauma, and I don't want to get angry anymore. I've been dealing with that for a few years after my last marriage. It was pretty traumatic. And it's one of those things that once I got out of it, I realized how much I was holding myself together by a thread, just threads of barely any kind of sanity, and once I realized I was starting to not like myself again, like when I was younger, that's when I really needed to make changes, because I had I used to hate myself. I was like, I'm a kid, a lot of kids hate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I really freaking hate you. You did too. Like, we all kind of like, there's something wrong with me. We all feel that way a lot of time.
Thus the need for all of this really self-love.
Yes.
People go, what's the answer? And you say self-love and they go, yeah, that. But no. What's really the answer? It's like, this really is the answer.
That is, and self-understanding. And you will love yourself if you understand yourself, I think.
Yes. And if you understand yourself.
That's a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you go to a psychic reader like Everclear.
That's right. Well,
Everclear is our sponsor. Everclear advice.
I would love to offer you and your listeners like a half off of a reading if you want to come. So exciting, so really powerful, and we recorded, of course, and it lasts for years. It'll go on for years. Very deep information and really instant. Lately, I've been seeing people just this morning. We had a triad reading where I watched people just like sort of uplift as they realize that we're overworking ourselves at things that aren't efficient. And then when we learn what the new operating system, how it really runs, and then it starts to run, there's this relief and this joy that, I don't have to be responsible for all those things that I thought I had to be. Now I can just be. But here's the trick. What are you going to create then? People have.
That's where I don't know what I want. That's what I'm like. I don't know what I want. I know I want to do this podcast forever. I know I want to love my people, and have friends and play music still, go listen to live bands and dance. I love going to see a live band and cats, but I don't know what I want. I just want them in my life. I just want to enjoy my life, and not have trauma.
I think then in the how you put that answer together is that when you get to those places, where there is trauma, and remembering that there's these two different organs we have an intellect and we have emotion. And the trauma of emotion is breath work. And the trauma of intellect is a whole different skill set. That's where we have to look at our triggers.
Mindfulness.
And just not even, and more than that, like the trigger of your mother, to be able to parboil it down to a bite-sized thing and then turn it back to see where you might be perpetuating
something.
The
Yeah.
very same thing that you're triggered by, and whatever, your mother, whoever,
Exactly,
whatever the trigger is. So I think when we do that, well, first of all, it's a lot of work to be that self-aware.
It is.
But when we get it and we see it and then we heal it at that root, because that's the root there. Yeah. Going into the arena where the person is not the root. You can peel it over for a while, but and act better. But when you get it here, everything starts to shift. And I'm going to believe that that's where our abundance in money comes in.
Yeah, it does, I think.
I'm completely open.
I feel like I've always been blessed by a lot of good things in my life. You know, and I have family that helps me when I'm really stuck and stuff like that with money. You know, I have. And but I feel grateful for a lot of things, but I live in a lot of fear still. I'm powerless.
Yeah.
So that's part of my victim mentality. I think a little bit like I'm powerless in some areas when I'm really not. I'm just not thinking outside the box enough.
Yeah. I had a conflict the other day, and my soundbite, the one I had to turn back on myself, was, "She's gaslighting me." And I was like, "Oh, really? I'm gaslighting myself. Let's see. Where am I gaslighting myself? Wow. Where am I gaslighting myself?" And that took me down this beautiful pathway of seeing where I was, all that gaslighting, you know, you can't do this and you're not good enough. And then I could.
That's never going to work.
Capture.
You're crazy for saying that. That never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all of that goes on in our intellect. And so this is the hardest thing to tame. You know, this is the hardest thing to master, I'd say.
Yeah. I've not mastered it, but I've rewired some pathways.
Yes. Me too. Yeah, absolutely. So.
And I would like to ask, where can I've asked you this twice, but for the new listeners, where can we find you? We have a website, or where can they find this half off reading? BarbaraWith.com. BarbaraWith.com. And
BARA. Yeah, you'll put it in. You drop it in. Yeah, and I also have a great class coming up in January. I'm excited. I haven't taught it in a while, about how to channel. So we're going to take a 6-week deep dive into helping people.
I know. Yeah, that's really cool. Do you mind if I ask what kind of prices you're asking for these kinds of sessions, like the 6-week?
The 6-week is $249.
That's it?
Yeah. I know.
That's beautiful. That is helping people.
That's what I mean. I don't need
what they need, you know, and people are charging too much. That's really, really, really,
and that's really good for me. I mean, I'm perfectly happy. I've been giving away most of everything, not my private readings.
Our work, though, is mostly free.
All the content that I channel with my groups and then I put up on YouTube that are just, and it's priceless. I mean,
our life is our work.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought this year I want to do this, and I want. There is a certain level of commitment when you have a price that people can afford.
Yes.
You know, so they can pay and can come. There is this more added sort of thing with it. And I'm excited because the people who are coming are super excited. Like,
I know, I bet they are, because they can't find that. And you're going to be such a great teacher at this stuff. Yeah,
it's going to be really fun.
You're going to be great at it. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to channel. I work with guides and I do mediumship, but I don't know if I want something in here talking through me yet. I don't know if I want to do that yet. I just don't know. I have to think about that.
Everyone will, you channel in your own way. That you're channeling. It's not like you don't channel.
Like we talked about in the beginning. Yeah. Everybody is a little differently.
Yes, you are a channel. But for some people who don't even know they have intuition, and it isn't even just about, you know, channel like me, like I'm going to train you to channel Einstein, though you'll be able to. But a lot of people, I think, just want to be in touch with that intuitive part of life that's so nurturing and loving.
Magic. There's magic everywhere. There's miracles everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And so if you just tap into looking for the energy work and the energy in life, that's the magic. It's everywhere. Everywhere you look, you suddenly see like magical animals and birds and
synchronicity
happening. Numbers. on signs that all link up together. And it's not like that movie Pie. If you ever saw that.
I was doing a triad
You're not
reading.
going to do that in the end.
No, yeah. I was doing a triad reading a couple weeks ago, and I was looking out my window, and these 3 white-tailed deer just walked by, 1, 2, 3. Right. I thought it was like a glitch in the matrix because I thought, and then I looked again. It was like, and then I looked again, and so the triad was. We were all excited. So today, same triad, same deer. That kind of stuff. Like that's just so magical to me. Yeah.
And were they in the same order, do you think? Like the same walking order? I was kind of curious if they walked.
I don't know.
I bet they did. I bet they did.
Probably, but
Mama first, of course, and then and then baby. It was on the baby too.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool to see, man. That'd be awesome.
But life is really magic. So
it really is. And there's magic everywhere if you look for it. Every single place you look, there's a fairy. And Barbara, I want to say thank you for coming back, and I want you to come back. She's going to come back every couple months, she says. Maybe
you just whenever you want.
Okay, you're going to get a lot of requests because I like
seriously. I'll be back. This was really great, and those were really great questions.
Thank you.
And
I tried to do some more sciencey questions the first couple of podcasts, and this one I wanted to ask about like the juju and stuff he taught, and that's what you teach too. So listeners and watchers, I also want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I am an advisor on Everclear under the name Lisa P, Leesa, Lisa P. And lastly, Barbara, do you have any advice for anyone who has a hesitation like I do about channeling? You said everyone's a little different. But if they have it set in their head that it's a certain way, like I can't remember it, my body's gone and someone's in here is what I always assumed it was like. But you remember it.
Mm-hmm, I do.
And other ones, people who channel, remember it.
I would say, think of it like a jazz singer. A jazz singer when they're scatting.
Scatting, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of scatting. That's the first thing that popped into my head. Yeah.
That's channeling. That's where that jazz singer, when we're listening and the
brilliant.
It's coming just like a half a second before it comes out of the mouth.
Yeah, I love it.
And so you're capturing this. And I fully believe that I don't believe in evil spirits. I think that I had to go through some training in my early days of channeling to what was my ego and what was I throwing in there, And
yes,
you go through it.
I do believe there are darker or lower, some people call them lower vibrational energies. But Barbara, you are like, I would say you vibrate at a higher frequency, much higher. So I don't think they're going to bother you, and that's.
Maybe that's it. Because I have not.
They have no interest in you. They've tried. They can't get to you.
But also the worldview that we espouse is that everything that I'm experiencing originates within me. So if there's evil spirits out there, they're originating in here. So I can go in here and boost that higher energy rather than trying to go at them out here.
Yeah, you can't change people like that. I mean, you can help them.
Can't change evil spirits either.
You can help them see things a different way, but they have to do it. Right?
Yeah.
If they have to want to, first of all. So thank you again. I love it. We can just keep going. We've said goodbye.
I know, like we were trying to say goodbye.
Okay, I'm gonna do it for real this time. Okay, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, watchers and listeners. I love you, and listeners. Misty loves you, and she misses you. And I guess peace out. Have a good day wherever you may be. Thank you. Bye bye.